Yo guys, what's up and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be starting the series 20 things I wish I would have known earlier as a music producer. So basically how to get better at making music, beats, samples and everything like that. And this series will have 3 different parts. So today I'm going to be talking about the sound selection for beats, samples and everything else, and about mixing chains, because those are one of the most important parts when making samples or beats. But I'm going to go in depth on this single topic, so y'all stay tuned, make sure to watch till the end, make sure to subscribe, and yeah guys, let's go. So for the first thing, there are a lot of crazy drum kits out there that have high quality sounds, and obviously there are some paid kits as well. But most of the time what I see with new producers when I'm making beat critique in my streams, those people are using bad sounds either for their genre or they're using bad and low quality sounds in general. So what you have to do is get good drum kits and get good one-shot kits, I would say, when making samples, when you can without plugins, which is completely fine. But make sure to get good sounds, because good sounds are the best thing you can get as a music producer. And let's say I pick my Stashed Volume 3 drum kit, which has a lot of different sounds. I know for a fact, because I made the drum kit obviously, I have only high quality sounds in there. So every sound I pick, it will sound high quality on the beat. Maybe it won't fit the genre, but overall it will sound good on the beat. And let's go to one of my favorite drum kits, which is the Colin Producer Paradise kit. And as you can see, it has so many sounds and it's such a good kit just for almost every type of beat. You can make R&B beats with this, you can make dark trap beats with this, you can make YSL type of beats, Southside type of beats, almost everything. And it has so many things. It even has a mastering chain, some MIDIs and FLPs, and just look at those snares. And Colin even sound designed some of these. So I have this beat right here, and I'm gonna show y'all the difference between good and bad drum sounds. I will switch up these patterns because pattern 8 is the one with the bad drum sounds. I wouldn't even say bad drum sounds, but they don't fit the genre, because these are like some real drum sounds for like pop music or like basically classical music. And you will hear a big difference between good and bad drum sounds, or fitting and not fitting drum sounds for the genre. I will leave the 808 in here though, so y'all can get the bounce. For this example, I used some sounds from Traco's kit, and first of all, the bad drum sounds are sounding like this. And as you can hear, it doesn't fit the sample or the style of this sample. But let's say for a soul or classical or like R&B type of beat, you can use them drum sounds perfectly. And I will preview a perk loop from my care package multi-kit, so you can get a hang of what they would sound like if they fit the sample. And now I'll show y'all how the soul perk loop, as I named it, would sound on a soul type of sample. So the drums will fit the sample 100% and it will sound good, as you will hear. And obviously the perk loop right here is EQ'd because it's mainly there to put it into the background of some samples, just to give them some more texture, but it still fits, as you will hear in a second. And now I'll play it and you will hear a big difference between the perk loop I just played y'all, or the drum loop I just played y'all, and this perk or drum loop I'll play y'all now. But now let's go on to the other beat, and I will show you all the beat with some perfect drum sounds, and you will hear a big difference because these drum sounds are perfect for trap beats, and I made a trap beat obviously, and the beat with the right sound selection is sounding like this. So as you can hear, it sounds really good and these drum sounds fit 100%. But now let's go on to one-shots, and I will show you how to make samples with one-shots, and I will show you the difference between sound selections and one-shots. Now let's go on to a sample, and I will show you the difference between mixed and unmixed sounds as well, because with having a good sound selection in beats, you can just basically level them, so adjust the volumes, because that's more than enough while making beats. But with making samples is a whole nother story, and I will show that to y'all right now. So I just pulled up this sample, which has a starter from @MarcoLance on Instagram. He's a crazy producer, y'all make sure to check him out. And as you can see, I didn't really add that much, but what I added was 2 phrases from Splice and 2 simple patterns with one shots, and that was basically it. So first of all, I did starter from MarcoLance. So as you can hear, it needed a little bit more low end and a bit more high end and just more rhythm. So I duplicated it and then pitched it up by 12, put a portal effect on it, which was the deep state preset, and then after that it sounded like this. Then for the first one shot I used was the Nico Prophet tech synth, and I just played with the envelope. So I basically turned down the delay, attack, put the hold on full, and left the sustain and release on its default settings, I think. And I didn't do anything else. I didn't even randomize the velocities. I laid some 2 note chords down, so it's basically in D minor chord, but I deleted the F. And then for this one, it's an harmonic chord, which I will show y'all in the next video. And before I show y'all the effect chain, which is simple as well, I will just preview this pattern. So as you can hear, it's a really repetitive pattern, but it fitted perfectly to the sample, and the chord at the end of these 4 bars just give it a lot of tension, and it just sounds super dark. And now for the effects, I just used this portal with the Peshka preset and this EQ where I just cut out a lot of the lows and some of the highs just to duck it more into the background and make it not as present as it would have been without the effects. And that's basically it, and it's basically just because I used a good sound for this sample, and you just have to think about it. Let's say I want to make an emotional sample and I want to add a synth. Maybe I will just make another sample with a synth and use an electric guitar for this emotional sample, or like some strings, because you can't just add a lead to an emotional sample. Obviously it can sound good, but most of the time it won't, and I don't want to say, yeah, you can't use this and you can't use that, and I don't want to make any rules, but that's just from my experience. I never used a lead in like an emotional sample because for me it didn't sound good at all. But as I said, you can do whatever you want. It's just some tips from me and from my experience, and without the effects it sounds like this. And as you can hear, even without the effects, it sounds good, but I just wanted to duck it more into the background because it had some frequencies that the main part from Marco Lenz already had, so I just wanted to duck it and to bring it more into the background. Then for the next thing, I have this Nico Prophet homemade bass, which is just a simple Prophet bass, and I love using one-shot basses because the main thing you can do is slide them, and you can do it with some VCs as well, but not with every VC. So I use this bass, and it's basically just a D note all the time, and I had it like that for the first few minutes, but then I decided to add some slide notes, and as you can see, they have no velocities, and at the end I added a little switch up. And first of all, the bass line without effects is sounding like this. And for the effects, I had the simple soothe, where I had it on a hard setting, and it had some muddy frequencies, but not as many as I would have used a bad bass sound. Then I had this decapitator just for the drive and the tone, and this simple EQ where I just cut out some of the frequencies that I didn't like and cut out some of the muddy lows because you can't hear them, and every bass has them. And I turned it 100% in mono, and now with the effects, it sounds like this. So as you can hear, it doesn't make that much of a difference because obviously I used a good bass sound, and that's one of the most important things while making samples, so don't forget to use good sounds. So yeah guys, if you all enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and to subscribe to my channel. Make sure to comment some future video ideas or even some future series that I could do. And if you want 20 perfect contact banks, make sure to check out the link in the description or just my latest video. And don't forget to check out my store because there you have kits with good sounds only, and I 100% guarantee that. And as I said, don't forget to like and to subscribe. Thank you for this crazy support, and yeah guys, see y'all.